Good morning, YouTube. So we are about to hit the gym. We're about to hit the gym. So my goal is to become a profitable trader because I'm trying to move out of the country in about 1 year. In about a year's time, I'm trying to move to the country. So I'm trying to become a profitable trader. I'm trying to become a profitable trader. So, anyways, um, so yeah, I was watching this video and he said that trading is spiritual. So I'm gonna be learning the topics on that, on information about that. I don't want to show my house, but and then so I'm gonna start trading. I'm starting from zero. I'm basically starting from zero experience. This is my 5th day of trading. I'm going to the gym right now. I'm gonna get back doing probably like an hour and 30-minute session. Start from there. I'm gonna show that trading is not a scam. Trading is not a scam. Even if this takes me 4 years, even if it takes me 4 years, 4 years, 4 damn years, I will not quit. I will not quit. I will make it. I will make it. I will make it. But yeah, I'm gonna hit the gym. I'm about to get toned. Yeah, I'm gonna end it here. All right, guys, we are leaving the gym. We got a kind of a good workout in. It was okay. About to go back to the crib. Not gonna shower, even though I should shower. But we are just going to get on the computer, start trading. So yeah, see you when I get back. Good morning, everyone. Let me start the screen recording. Okay, today is a new day. So we are started on a new trade. So today is a new day. We are going to make a trade for today. I hate when I can't see myself. Today is day 2 of the 30-day challenge. We're going to be making a trade today. So yesterday I watched a video on FXG's set and forget strategy, and I actually set a trade. I actually executed a trade, and I made, how much money did I make? I made like $330 something, but it was on a demo account. See, now my account says 100,350 something dollars because I made 330 something thousand. I made 300 something dollars. So I made $300 off a trade. Let me show you the trade I took. Let's go to trading view. Forex. Let's go USD and then switch over. See on super charts. Okay, it wasn't Euro USD. It was what pair was it? It was NZD USD. Yeah, it was New Zealand dollar US dollar. Let's go to the weekly. I took my markings off of it. I still don't have my mouse. So alright, anyways. So what we saw here was that the we started. I don't know why I have the month chart. I need to remove that. Let's remove the month. All right. Anyways. All right. Where'd it go? NZD USD. So the weekly was bearish. They were all bearish. The three time frames from weekly down to 4 hour were bearish, if I was not mistaken. Yep, bearish. It looks bullish, but hold on. Is this the pair I traded? Is this the pair I traded? I still haven't set the timer yet. I'm gonna set the timer for 1 hour and 30 minutes. I just set it. I don't know if you can see that. Alright. Like I said, I'm a new trader. This is my second day, my 30-day challenge. Realistically, I think this is like my 6th day trading. I'm gonna get into the details of what I know in a little bit. So, I know that. Let's just. No, I can't do that. Why isn't the daily bearish? Is it bearish? Let's go 4 hour. 4 hours bearish. Well, what we had yesterday was we had a weekly bearish, daily bearish, and 4 hour bearish. And then what we did is we identified that the three time frames and the higher time frames were all bearish. So what we did next was, let me get my note thing out. I need a new notebook. What we did next, hold on, give me a second. So what we did next was, so we identified that the higher time frames were all bearish, sorry. That's number one. And let's look at this video. Let's see what we did next. Well, if I'm not mistaken, I don't want to have to watch the video to remember. Is we looked at try to find an area of interest where the points were all touching, and we found an area of interest. Let's go to the weekly. Oh, it's easy to find an area of interest. An area of interest could be, where's my boxes? Where my Oh, it's because this is Safari. That's why. We need to use Google Chrome. We need to use Google Chrome. All right, for this trade, let's use Google Chrome. Hope you didn't see that. This should have my markups. NZD USD. Yep, she has my markups. So the weekly was bearish. The daily was bearish. Yeah, it was bearish. Yep. And the 4 hour was bearish as well. So what we did now was we looked at an area of interest. So the area of interest that we found was this. The touches that we have here are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, it doesn't have to be exact. Let's move this up a little bit. The area of interest that we found here were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 touches of interest, 9 areas of interest. So then once once you find the area of interest, the point was that once what do you call I'm trying to figure out what do you call the utmost, the furthest most point on the chart? Once the price, all right, let's just say the price. Once the price came back to this point, whether it was going to get rejected down, or rejected or a support up, that's when we go to the lower time frames and execute the trade. If that makes sense. So if we go to 30-minute, right? Let's go to 15-minute. So let's say this is our area of interest right here. So if the price ever went back up to here and we were selling because we know the markets were bearish, if this is our this was our hypothesis on what we were gonna do yesterday, on what we did yesterday, on what we were going to do yesterday, on making this trade. So our hypothesis was if the price ever went back up to this point, it was gonna get rejected because the 3 time frames were all bearish, and this was an area of interest, and it was a level of an area of resistance. So we were gonna wait until this area broke up to this point, and then we're gonna buy at this point, and then wait for the price to go back down. But what the thing is, I didn't wait for price to go back down. I just sold. Where it was. I think it was like right over here or some point, and I just sold. I think it was like right over here. I just sold. I didn't wait for the price to go back up. I just sold it. I didn't wait for price to go back up. I just sold. So, does that make sense? I hope it does. If it doesn't, leave a comment. Just say, doesn't make sense, does not make sense, and in the future videos, I'll describe in more detail. This is a long video. I'm not even sure if you guys are gonna watch to the end. But anyways, it's good content. Someone might watch in the future. So, anyways, so yeah, the area of interest. So number 2. So we have identified the higher time frames were all bearish, so all in sync. So that would give us like a 30%. So that would give us, remember the confluences, remember from yesterday, the confluences. We have to build a series of confluences. Alex G said, build a series of confluences. So we have all 3 time frames, all 3 higher time frames going in one order. So the number 2 would be find area of interest. AOI, area of. And one thing I need to do is I need to buy some fish. I'm gonna buy some fish. That way, I can get smart and I can actually break these charts down. Break these charts down. Get in the gym, read some books, break these charts down, get some good sleep, get organized, get right, get fit, get right, get everything right. But subscribe right now. Right now if you're watching it. If you're watching this, subscribe right now. Alright. Anyways. So then let's go to the video and see what he says.
So, and again, I always say this, in order for, all right, let me back up. So, pretty simple. And we're going to remain bullish until price closes down here, then we'll be bearish, or price makes a new high, then we just adjust our lines.
So he's on the part where he's figuring out if the three higher time frames are bullish or bearish.
So let's get this out of here. All right, so now that we know that the weekly is bullish, daily, or we jump down to the daily to see if it's bullish or bearish, just the same exact thing. We could tell if we go back here that there was price structure, blah, 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 all this. So anyways, after it did all this, the daily was bearish, meaning that we need to take a closer look all the way over here, closer to where price actually was, to see if it's bullish or bearish. So we can start here. At this point, price was bullish. All right, at this point, price was bullish. This was a higher high. This was a higher high. This was a higher low. Once price broke under here, as you see, once price broke under here, then we just switch our lines. Now we're bearish. This is the lower low. And then this line remains the same as being the higher high. Once it breaks this level again and creates a new low, as you see it did, boom, then all we do, go with the market. Continue to move the lines, lower low, lower high. And then we see that it just broke it again, continue to do that. So now, oh shit. So now if we move the lines here, lower low, lower high. All right, cool. And now once price broke above this previous level of structure, this lower high, once price broke above here, as it did right here, then we know that the market is bullish. Our computer lagging. Then we know that the market is bullish. So all we do, continue with the lines. That's the higher high now.
I like this YouTuber.
This is the higher low. Perfect. And we're just doing literally the same exact thing. So let me do this market replay.
I will be good at trading. I will be good at trading. I'm gonna break it down.
What was this Monday? All right, so coming into the week, we knew that we had a higher high right here, and we knew that the higher low was right here. Now remember, the weekly's bullish, and now that we have figured out what the daily is, we can determine that the daily is bullish as well. Perfect, that's all we need. So once I figure those time frames out, so you need two time frames in sync, either the weekly and daily or the daily and 4 hour, pretty much that simple. Once we do that, then I go back to the weekly, or I can do it on the daily. Mainly do it on the daily, but lately I've been doing it on the weekly as well, just to find my area of interest. Area of interest is this light blue line.
Area of interest. So right now he's finding the area of interest.
You see on the screen. And the way I find the area of interest is just you're looking for multiple touches in the market that have either rejected or the market has used it as support. It doesn't have to be perfect. Again, it's a zone. It's not an exact line. But here we see that the market used this point right here once. Twice.
3 times.
2 more times. 3, 4, 5, 6. And 6. And don't mind the noise. If you hear that loud ass shit, it's my
elephant of a dog.
Upstairs neighbor's elephant of a dog.
I watched this video already.
Anyway, they'd be tripping. But anyways, that's how you find the area of interest. Once you identify places in the market or places that price has touched multiple places in the market, then you just simply set a line. You see I set a box. You see I set a box here, 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 here. Got that, so I just dragged, took it across, and then just got everything in the box. So the weekly is bullish, the daily is bullish. Got my area of interest. So what am I looking for this week? Exactly what you see here. Simple pullback.
What do you say? This is the bullish or bearish?
So what am I looking for this week? Bullish. Took it across and then just got everything in the box.
That's bearish.
So the weekly is bullish, the daily is bullish.
What?
Got my area of interest. So what am I looking for this week? Exactly what you see here. Simple pullback into this area.
So he's looking for the pullback. He's looking for the like I said. He's looking for the pullback. It's kind of far from here, but he's looking for the pullback. The price, from what I think, he's looking for the price to pull back up into here and break down and sell, and then sell from this point on. So if the price ever comes back up, then he's gonna sell from this point, because this is the point of resistance. This is a resistance point in the market, because you have this point, this point, this point, this point, and you have other points here. This point, this point, and this point. I'm learning the charts. Only day 2, 30 days in. I'll move this tab to another window.
Go down to lower time frames, which we'll do now, and then look for entries. Very, very simple strategy, and that's why I love it, to be honest. Okay, so we have the daily. We're not really concerned about the 4-hour anymore, because we already have our 2 time frames in sync, right? So, and again, I always say this, in order for, all right, let me back up. So in order,
one thing I don't understand is if you put your box, your area of interest, on the weekly, right? And it's really high, like up, like right here, right? Say this is the area of interest. Let's see, it's right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this is area of interest, and you're waiting for the price to come back up into this point right here. But then if you go to the 30-minute, and it's mad far from here, I don't understand how you're supposed to wait that long. Are you supposed to wait that long? I don't know. I don't know if you're supposed to wait that long. I don't know. Let's see what he does.
take an entry, we need a shift of structure on the lower time.
Hold up, where'd my I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back.
Right. So if we need a shift of structure on the lower time frame, and in this case we're buying, so a shift of structure to go bullish, we would need, all right, let me back up. So in order for us to take an entry, we need a shift of structure on the lower time frame. So if we need a shift of structure on the lower time frame, and again, I always say this, in order for, all right, let me back up. So in order for us to take an entry, we need a shift of structure on the lower time frame. So if we need a shift of structure on the lower time frame, and in this case we're buying, so a shift of structure to go bullish, we would need our lower.
You said shift of structure. What does that mean?
Frames to be bearish.
You said what?
Need a shift of structure on the lower time frame, and in this case we're buying, so a shift of structure to go bullish, we would need our lower time frames to be bearish. Let me break it down for y'all. This case on the 30, we have higher high. In this case, structure on the lower time frame.
All right, let me
in order for, all right, let me back up. So in order for us to take an entry, we need a shift of structure on the lower time frame. So if we need a shift of structure on the lower time frame, and in this case we're buying, so a shift of structure to go bullish, we would need a shift of structure on the lower time frame. So, and again, I always say this, in order for, all right, let me back up. So in order for us to take an entry, we need a shift of structure on the lower time frame. So if we need a shift of structure on the lower time frame, and in this case we're buying, so a shift of structure to go bullish, we would need our lower time frames to be bearish. Let me break it down for y'all. This case on the 30, we have higher high, higher low, higher high. And then once price broke under here with this candle, that means we are bearish on the 30. Perfect. That's what we're looking for. Why? Because we need the 30 to go bearish in order for the daily to come back. Now, granted, this candle closed like...
I don't get what he's saying right here. I don't get this. Also, by the way, this is like the TikTok shop lung cleanser. I'm not vaping. This is the TikTok shop like lung cleanser. So I'm not vaping. Subscribe. I need some more light in here. All right. Sorry, guys. I'm so sorry.
So, I mean, it is what it is. In this case, it was already at the area of interest. But for this next candle to open...
Yo, let me tell you right now. If you're young, if you're like... Probably when the younger generation starts watching my videos, they're probably going to be like 16, 14, when I'm like 30. If you watch all my videos and you literally like literally if I do what I have in mind when I'm famous, when I'm like big, when I'm a big trader and like big, I will literally meet up with you and help you with not even meet up with you, help you with the trading. Literally, this is gonna be such a big help because I'm literally starting from nothing, knowing how to trade. So literally, I know a lot of people are gonna want to learn how to start trading, but it's not for everyone though. It's not for everyone, but anyone can learn it though. But it's not for everyone though. I don't know. I think you have to have a calling towards it, but I'm not sure. I guess we'll figure it out. I guess I'll figure it out once I learn more about it.
We're seeing that it's already in the zone, and all we're doing
What is he saying, bro?
seeing at the area of interest. But for the daily, because we need the 30 to go bearish in order for the daily to come back. Now, granted, this candle closed like this, so I mean, it is what it is. A shift of structure on the lower time frame, and in this case, we're buying, so a shift of structure to go bullish, we would need our lower time frames to be bearish. Let me break it down for y'all. This case on the 30, we have higher high, higher low, higher high, and then once price broke under here with this candle, that means we are bearish on the 30. Perfect. That's what we're looking for. Why? Because we need the 30 to go bearish in order for the daily to come back. Now, granted, this candle closed like this, so I mean, it is what it is. In this case, it was already at the area of interest. But for this next candle to open, we're seeing that it's already in the zone. And all we're doing is, at this point, looking for a shift of structure, making sure that there's structure on the lower time frames. As you see, there is. If there would be anything, price is bearish right here, but this would be the structure. And then once price broke above, then we would go bullish, look for our entry signal, bullish point, looking for.
Sorry, guys.
For this next candle to open, we're seeing that it's already in the zone. And all we're doing is, at this point, looking for a shift of structure, making sure that there's structure on the lower time frames. As you see, there is. If there would be anything, price is bearish right here, but this would be the structure. And then once price broke above, then we would go bullish, look for our entry signal, bullish engulfing, then take it on up. Now, this one I took on the, I believe it was a 15, if I'm not mistaken.
He also looks for bullish engulfing or bearish engulfing. So I'm gonna write that down. Looks for bearish or bullish engulfing. Let me see if I can find one of those for you guys. So bullish or bearish engulfing is something like this. Perfect. Like this. That's a bullish engulfing. Or this. That's a hint that it's going to go to the upside trend. Or a bearish engulfing like this. Or like this. Or like this. I didn't even notice that until now. That's like a hint, I guess. I'm gonna circle that. Or box it. Okay.
But let me do this market replay. So as we see, price is, what is all these lines? The hell is this? Okay, whatever. I don't know what that is, sorry. But, no, that shit finna irritate me. What the hell is this? All right, let's just run with the 30. If the entry's on the 15, then I'll go back to that. But, so we see it's still the same thing. The 30-minute is bearish. We got all this structure right here. Boom, boom. Lower low, lower high. So let me make it easier for y'all. Bring out the lines. This is the lower high. Lower low. All right, let's just run with the 30. If the entry's on the 15, then I'll go back to that. But so we see it's still the same thing. The 30-minute is bearish. We got all this structure right here. Boom, boom. Lower low, lower high. So let me make it easier for y'all. Bring out the lines. This is the lower high. Lower low. Boom, lower high, or excuse me, lower low, lower high. So again, it's the same thing that we did on the weekly, the same thing that we did on the daily. all we're looking for is a shifter structure on the lower time frames to let us know, all right, the lower time frames are ready to go up. So price gives us this shift of structure. First step done. Second step, we're looking for a pullback.
I'm probably gonna execute a trade today. So what time? We have an hour left. I'm probably gonna execute a trade today. So, oh, I forgot to put my screen recording in yesterday. That's something I forgot to do. So I'm gonna put my screen recording in today, and then we're gonna take a trade.
And then third step, we're looking for an engulfing entry. That simple. So let's continue with the market replay and see what happens. But at this let's continue with the market replay and see what happens. But at this point, once it shifts, we're shifting the lines. This is, well, let's not say that's the higher yet until we actually see. But okay, yeah, then I gotta go to 15. Okay, perfect. As you see here, shift of structure. This is the new higher high. This is the higher low. Perfect, sounds good. We're in the box, we're in the zone. All right, everything checks out. Now, pretend this isn't here, but now all we're looking for is a pullback and an engulfing. You see we get the pullback, retests this previous level of structure, and the pullback is right here. Pullback is right there. As you can see, that's entry signal. So boom, take the entry.
Oh, that's his pullback apparently. I don't get this. I don't get this.
Long position tool, take the entry. Mine was a little higher, but it doesn't matter. Then I'm putting the lows under here. So 18.9, I like to add 5. 23.9. Get rid of this because we don't need it. And then my take profit is somewhere up there.
You need to rewind that. That's important.
Take profit. Putting the low box. We're in the zone. All right. Everything checks out. Now, pretend this isn't here, but now all we're looking for is a pullback and an engulfing.
A pullback. So, all right. So let me look at the chart. So right here, this is. It looks like the chart is chart. Is this chart bearish or bullish? He wants to buy, so I'm assuming his chart's bullish. Yes, he's saying his chart's bullish because it looks like he wants to buy. So, and he has a level of resistance apparently. That's around over here. Yeah, this is the box that he has. I think it's right here. So then he has this box right here. He has this box right here. And then it retests the line, like it retests like how it would retest over here. But instead it goes closer, like what chart is he on? He's on the 15-minute. So let's go to my 15-minute. See, my box is mad far away. So for me to be able to touch this, it would take mad long. So I don't know why my area of interest is mad far away. That's one thing I don't understand yet. Let's watch him for a little bit.
We get the pullback, retests this previous level of structure, and the pullback.
Level of structure. Is that an area of interest or a level of structure? What the heck? Why doesn't it use the same terminology?
Is right here. pullback is right there. As you can see, that's entry signal. So boom, take the entry, long position tool, take the entry. Mine was a little higher, but it doesn't matter. Then I'm putting the lows under here. So 18.9, I like to add 5. 23.9. Get rid of this because we don't need it. And then my take profit is somewhere up there. Excuse me, first take profit was definitely this area right here, just because that was previous area that we had. That's the highest high that we had to go get, in my opinion. Price didn't have to, but it did. And once I hopped into the trade, if you guys have watched the past 2 videos, I talk about my psychology, and I'm still working on it. But in this trade, I would say my psychology was 100% better. I started doing this thing to where once I hop into a trade, I set an alert on my stop loss and I set an alert on my take profit. And then I don't look at the trade. That is just something that I have, that I started and wanted to do, because if you watch the previous video, I mentioned that I was in a winning trade, but I started looking at the trade, getting nervous, saw price was going against me, and then I ended up hopping out. Of course, the trade ended up winning, could have been profits. So I'm definitely, and then I talk about how Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. If you haven't read that, go check it out. But how that book has really opened up my eyes and allowed me to view the trading errors that I'm making and all that stuff. So it's not just reading it and hearing it and okay, yeah, like you actually have to apply it. And that's exactly what I did in this trade. And I'm telling you, my psychology was 10 times better. So anyways, we hop into the trade, right? Now, what I was looking at when I was hopping in is, all right, this could be a potential, you know what I'm saying? Inverted head and shoulders, price could continue down. But while I was doing that, I reminded myself, all right, but I'm guessing, or not guessing, but I'm saying what the market is going to do. But that's not the case. It's trading. None of us know what the market is going to do. The market could do one thing, or we could think the market's doing one thing and it does completely something completely different. And in this case, that was the case. So in my head, again, my psychology, trying to, come up with reasons as to why this trade might not work or why it would be a loser, but not really thinking on why it would be a winner. That's a lot of things that's something that a lot of traders actually do. We're fearful, we're scared, we don't want to lose money. So our minds are trying to protect us from doing that, which means, oh, I see this could be a potential head and shoulders. Just cut the trade now so you don't have to, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to lose. You don't have to lose money. You're already up a little bit, so just take your profit. But that's not how we become great traders. That's not how we become consistently profitable traders. So once I saw this pattern right here, I was like, but then I caught myself. Just let it ride out. So you have your stop loss, or an alert on your stop loss and an alert on your take profit. Don't look at the trade. And something I was telling myself this whole week is, or when I was in this trade is, you can't mess up the trade if you don't know what the market's doing. Meaning, if I'm not looking at the markets, I don't know what it's doing. It could be in profit, it could be in drawdown, but regardless, I'm not touching it. I can't touch it. I can't be worried about it. Can't be fearful about it because I don't know what it's doing. I have absolutely no clue. I'm not looking at it. It is what it is. Now, I still need to work on it because I did actually look at it multiple times, but I will say, I would usually look at it maybe like, this is what I would do. I'll be working and I'll keep the charts open while I'm in a trade, so I'm damn near watching the whole thing. Or I'll put on YouTube and have it in the background. I'm looking at the numbers fluctuate. All that stuff just kills your confidence, because the market is obviously going to be in drawdown at a certain point in time, or it'll go up in profit, then come back to break even. So to avoid all that, to avoid the headache, to avoid the fear, to avoid the FOMO, whatever, just hop in the trade, close it, and don't look at it. For me, that's something that has helped me. Now, this is only the first trade I've done it, but I'm going to do it on every other trade, because I understand that if I look at it too much, I'm going to make a mistake. And I can't afford to make these mistakes if I'm trying to be a consistently profitable trader. Very simple. So that's something you just got to keep in mind when you're trading and when you're actively focusing on your psychology.
I don't know if I want to watch the whole of this video.
Is you got to come up with these little tips and stuff like that, or you got to hold yourself accountable. Like, you got to do what you got to do. Now, as I mentioned, I did look at it multiple times, but instead of having it up while I'm working, I'm looking at it maybe 2-3 hours later, which is in my head is okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm just checking on the trade, but I'll look at it, see where it's at. All right, see where it's at. Just go ahead and close it out. Then maybe another 2-3 hours, end up getting back into it or getting back to looking at it. So
let's go on another video. I kind of got the gist of it. Let's execute a strategy from FXAlexG.
Imagine bringing your side project to life just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
Welcome to the final class. This is going to be the final class that you will need to watch in your whole entire trading career to understand how to trade. I'm talking about in this 10-hour video, I am literally going to teach you from 0 to 100%. From the point that you are literally going to be able to execute a trade with me inside of this video live. Whatever I do on my phone, you pause the video, you do it on your phone. Whatever I do on my charts, you pause the video, you do it on your chart. I'm going to take you through the most step-by-step process that I have personally ever created or ever even seen online on a complete tutorial on how to teach you trading from 0 to 100%. This is everything in one spot. I swear to God, I wish I had this video when I started my trading journey back in 2019, 2018, when I was learning how to trade online. Nobody created tutorials like this. There was a bunch of different videos throughout the whole entire internet, and I kind of had to piece them all together. And by the time that I pieced them all together, I simply...
Alright guys, we're just going to trade for myself because I don't feel like watching that right now. Maybe we'll watch it tomorrow. But let's figure out what trade we can do. Let's go to Euro USD. So for the weekly, looks to be bullish, daily, bullish, 4 hour, bearish. Let's not do this one. We need 30%. Australian dollar, USD, bearish, 4 hour, weekly. Let's not do this one. Let's do GP, British pound, US dollar. Weekly, bullish. Daily. No. USD, JPY. I don't like that chart. It looks weird. Let's go to weekly though. No. NZD, USD. No. AUD, CAD. They're all mixtures. They're all like 20% bullish and 10% bearish. I don't like that. Got head and shoulders right here, I think. Alright, let's use this chart. Let's do US dollar, Canadian dollar. Delete these charts, these words and charts. Is this on MetaTrader 4? Let's see. Okay, let's start my screen recording. 46 minutes left. MetaTrader 4. Alright, so we have US dollar CAD. Canadian dollar. We could trade this. Let's leave it alone for now. Let's stop the recording. All right. So let's identify the trend. Let's start this trade for real. So we have weekly. Weekly is bullish. Or is it bearish? One thing I need to learn is if the end of the chart, if it's bullish all the way up until here and then drops below this, does that make it bullish or bearish? Let me search up. Bullish or bearish? Like it dropped below this point. I don't know if this is bullish or bearish. I need to look at other people's charts and see what they say.
Information overload, and I didn't know what I actually needed and what I didn't actually need. In this video, I'm going to teach you everything that you need, and I'm going to briefly explain to you what you don't need so you don't have to simply waste time on it. Because the truth of the matter is that right now in trading, everybody is having a massive opportunity to make money online. The more time that you waste having the lack of knowledge and not having the proper education to go and trade, the more time you are missing out on these profits. So I'm going to make everything on this one video, so all you have to do is just watch it from zero to the end. You're going to know exactly how to be able to go out there and execute trades live in the market. Now,
All right, let's see this guy. He's going to tell us if the charts are bearish or bullish.
Unlock the world's largest, most liquid financial market with Forex.
to understand all these charts, which is the ability that lets me generate numbers like these, or even these, simply by anticipating what the next move will be by reading these candlesticks. And to get to where the point that I am today, it's taken me over 5 years. And in this video, I will summarize my whole experience by reading these charts. First of all, it is extremely important to understand what is a chart. So what is a chart? It's a basic tool to see the price movement in the markets. And it is made up of real price and real time, where you can always chart absolute of that market opportunity. And the goal of all this is to make money. And in order for you to make money, you obviously have to risk money in trading. And to achieve this, there's two simple ways on how to do it. Very easy. Both of these will help you reach the same endpoint, which is to understand where is the direction of the market headed in order for you to go with it and generate money with it. The first is through fundamental analysis. Fundamental analysis serves us in the same way to identify the direction of price, but only with a different emphasis. In this case, it is done with economic data or news to cast the direction of the market. And the second, which is my favorite, technical analysis. Technical analysis is the way to understand the direction of where the market is headed. But this is by means of these charts that you see everywhere. And this is by looking at these technical patterns that happen time and time again in the market that allows us to understand and interpret what is going to happen next in the markets. And the absolute first thing we need to understand in the market is trend. The trend is your friend. The trend is basically the dominant movement of the market. And the absolute best way to understand it, it is by the higher highs and the higher lows. So the way you identify a bullish market is whether it is creating higher highs and higher lows heading to the upside. Without a higher
It's creating higher highs and higher lows. So I think this is bearish then, because this is, look, it's creating higher highs and higher lows, but then it starts to make lower lows and lower highs. I need him to point it out.
low, it is absolutely impossible to have a bullish market. Bullish means that the market is heading to the upside. And then if you have a bearish market, it consists of lower lows and then lower highs. It is absolutely impossible to have a bearish market without lower lows and lower highs. Bearish means sells, bullish mean buys. So now understanding this, which it is extremely key to success in trading, next are the areas of where you enter a trade. There are very specific zones in price where they have lots of buying opportunity and selling opportunity. There's very specific zones in the price where there is lots of buying or selling interest in the markets. This is where price accumulates to change the direction of where the market is headed. And there are two types of areas. The first one being support. Support is almost as a floor. Once price gets to this area, it simply can't break through the floor. So what does price do once it gets to this area? It bounces off. So you're always looking to buy price at a support level in order so you head.
So always looking to buy at a support.
The upside with it. The second type is going to be a resistance. Resistance is almost like the roof. So once price gets to the roof, it can't break through the roof, so then it rejects it, and then it heads to the downside. If you're anytime looking to buy a market, you have to buy at a support level. And if there's any time that you want to sell, you have to be selling at a resistance, which is also known as the roof. And finally, we have the candlestick patterns. Candlestick patterns are features that are constantly being repeated in the markets without ever stopping. And this allows us to interpret what is the market doing in real time. And these patterns make a lot of sense at very specific zones. For example, you have the pattern of a head and shoulders. A head and shoulders, once it is formed at a resistance level, this is going to indicate that the market is going to head to the downside. So now that you have a resistance level and on top of that a reversal pattern, it is a very strong indication that you're going to sell. You also have an inverted head and shoulder, meaning that you're going to get an inverted head and shoulders at a support level, which is going to indicate that you're going to bounce off of that support level stronger than continuing heading to the downside. Next, you have a break and retest pattern, meaning let's say you have a resistance level, price breaks through the resistance, it retests it, it uses it as a support level, and then it continues to head to the upside. Also for sells, let's say you have a strong support level, price breaks through the support level, comes back and retests it to continue to head to the downside.
He knows his stuff. It's crazy how well he knows his stuff.
There's many more patterns in the markets that are used as a reversal pattern to predict what is the market going to do at a resistance or at a support level. All of this is more than enough to make your first analysis in the markets and want to practice and execute it in real time. So let's put everything into practice that I've explained to you guys today. The first thing that you want to understand is whether a market is bullish or whether a market is bearish. If the market is bullish, that means that it is creating higher highs and higher lows heading to the upside. And if the market is bearish, that means that it is creating lower lows and lower highs to the downside. After you understand whether the market is headed up or down, then you need to understand an area of interest where you're going to use a strong...
All right. One more video. Sorry, guys. I'm watching too many videos. I'm so sorry.
Well, hey TradingView, how are you doing? This is Trade Confident, and I'm going to be teaching you guys how to trade. Some of you guys may be new, Some of you guys might be advanced, some of you guys might be far along on the road and you are live trading already. But I really want to start this channel by, first of all, thanking TradingView for letting me be here. I'm getting registered for live stream soon, so I'll be able to do that with you guys. But really to start teaching people from the basics of trading up to the advanced, which, eventually going live trading and showing you guys what that looks like. So for this episode, I want to go over how do you trade down US? How do you know it's an uptrend? How do you know it's a downtrend? By two things. It's called a higher high and a higher low for an uptrend, and a lower low, lower high for a downtrend. Now let me point this out here on the chart. Visually, you can tell the price is moving up here. And people will think, okay, that is an uptrend. You are correct. Visually, that is correct. But it is always best to confirm that it's an uptrend with the higher high and higher low formation. So let's take a look at that on the chart here. Here is where I see the first low. All right. Price is moving up here and it moves back down. So come over here, Eclipse tool, and we'll point this out. And there we are. That is how you identify a downtrend and an uptrend. We've got circles everywhere, but what I encourage you to do is open a chart right now, any ticker of your choice, stock, crypto, Forex, and with the higher high and higher low formation. So let's take a look at that on the chart here. Bring out the Eclipse tool, and we're going to start down here. We're just going to work our way up, okay? So down here is where I see the first low, all right? Price is moving up here and it moves back down. So I say, all right, let's take out an Eclipse tool again, and we're going to look at this. What is this on the chart here? If this is a low, this is a high, and what would this be right here? This would actually be our higher low, right there. Move this up just a little bit so you guys can see that, right there. So we have a low, a high, a higher low. Now, can you spot on the chart where the higher high formation is? I'll give you a second, and I'll work on here getting the tool. So the higher high formation is actually right here. It's going to be at the top of this wick. Now, you might hear people say, do you pull formations at top of the wick or at the top of the body? My personal suggestion is that you always use wick values. A little side tangent is that I know there's a lot of bots out there that end up trading Forex and cryptocurrency and even stocks, and they are using price action data, and they're using all the data within a candle, and that means they're also using the wick value of the candle, not just the body. So that is partly why I always suggest using a wick value for your higher highs, higher lows, and lower highs, lower lows for downtrends. But right now we're in an uptrend. So let's see if you guys can spot the next higher low. So we have a low, a higher low, higher high. Where is the higher low formation? Where is it on the chart? This is kind of tricky. We'll see if you can find it. What you need to do is you need to look at the high, and then you need to go on the bottom of these wicks here. What you're looking for is a move up and then a move back down, creating an arrow shape up. So here's what I'm talking about. I'll zoom in here a little bit further so you can see this. See how there's a point here on the bottom of the wick, a point and a point. When it creates an arrow up, that means you've created a higher low formation. All right. Some people might like to see this just a little bit lower, coming below this wick right here. But my personal opinion on this is that this is going to be a higher low formation right here. So let's come in here and place another circle. So we have a higher low. Let me get it over. Come on, circle.
All right, so basically, I'm assuming it's just, you tell if it's bullish or bearish by higher highs and higher lows. So then this chart is bearish. It's bearish. Because it starts off bullish, but then it becomes bearish from this right here, from this bearish engulfing. Yeah, this is bearish. I don't like this chart anymore. US dollar, Swiss franc. All right. Oh, I think we got a good one. Weekly's bearish, daily bearish, 4-hour bearish. Perfecto! Perfecto! Anyways, I'm craving for some nicotine right now. I'm craving for some nicotine. Alright, so we identified that the higher time frames are going bearish. We're gonna execute a trade on this for sure. We're definitely gonna execute a trade on this for sure. NZD CHF. I don't even know if this is. I'm gonna have to use MetaTrader 5 on this one. Yeah, I'm gonna have to use MetaTrader 5. NZD CHF. Yeah. I'm gonna have to use MetaTrader 5. I think I might just use MetaTrader 5 from now on. Yeah, I kind of like MetaTrader 5. Alright, sorry guys, I'm like falling behind. Alright, so weekly is bearish, as we can see. Daily is bearish, and 4-hour is bearish. So let's look for an area of interest. Look at the box. Alright, so we have, how many touches do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches. So that's a level of resistance. And so we're looking to sell. No, hold on, let's go to the, why are we on the, let's go to weekly. Oh, let's go to daily. Where do they put the area of interest? Where do they put the area of interest on, dog? Doesn't make sense. If it's all the way down here and I put an area of interest all the way up here, it's never going to get back up all the way up here. It doesn't make sense. We need to watch bro. We need to watch videos on how to, so I need to watch videos on area of interest. Alright, let's just do it. Let's go weekly. Yeah, let's put an area of interest on the 4-hour because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches. So now we need to wait until price comes back up until here, and it's gonna, and then, or let's go to the 15-minute or 1 minute. See, and then it just makes my box all the way up here. I don't know why it does that. It just makes my box all the way up there. Why do I have this? Doesn't make sense. So, because the price could go up, and then I could just sell once it comes up back, once it touches the level of resistance. So, should I wait? Or should I just sell the trade? It doesn't make sense. Alright, so basically what I'm trying to figure out is I have my area of interest, I believe, if I go to the daily, my area of interest is right here. Let's go to the weekly, sorry, 4 hour. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's my area of interest. And the price is right here. But if we go to the lower time frames to find out where we want to execute the trade, the price is all the way down here, and it's never going to be able to retest to touch the area of interest. So that doesn't make sense to me. So do we wait? Let's watch a video.
So if you guys asked in the last video, if you guys wanted to see how I mark off my area of interest, I got a busload of comments. So if you guys haven't seen the last video, make sure to go check it out. Thanks to me marking off these areas of interest the right way, I was able to make 60K day on gold, 50K day on GJ, all these huge days, which I was able to buy myself another Richard Mille. So shout out to TPT for hooking it up. And as I'm buying the Richard Mille, I'm seeing these iced out Rolexes. And I'm thinking to myself, so in order to component tips,
I'm gonna watch this later, but when I'm by myself. I gotta provide value to YouTube. Can watch it now, I guess.
As I was buying the Sensei, this guy lent me the Urus for 2 weeks because I'm in between about buying a Urus or Cunnilan, and he's always wanted an iced out Rolex. So I bought him a two-tone iced out Rolex, which is crazy. I've never gifted anybody anything as crazy as this. So make sure you watch the video. I'm going to be gifting him the Rolex in this video, and I'm going to be giving you guys the 3 very key important tips on how to find these area of interest the correct way. So check it. All right, so the first things before you find your area of interest, you need to understand whether we're bullish or bearish. Are we bullish on the weekly? Are we bearish on the weekly? What is going on with the time frame? So in order for me to sell, first things first, before finding any area of interest, I need to understand what is the market doing. And I do not take any trade unless we have two time frames in sync. I'm going to show you exactly what I mean by that right now. As you can tell here, the weekly time frame is clearly bearish. We're creating lower low, lower high, lower low.
Just like us, we're bearish.
Now we're creating a potential lower high to create a lower low. So this is where we would type off. The weekly time frame is bearish. Next would be the daily. This is where you would go
I need to mark my charts.
to the daily time frame. We understand what is the daily doing. Are we bullish or bearish? So in this case, we understand that the daily is creating lower low, lower high, lower low. Then we shifted here to creating higher highs and higher lows. Again, if you guys want to know more details about market structure, I have a 3-day accelerated bootcamp. Just click the link below of it. Another way to tell how this market shifted from bearish to bullish, we had here an inverted head and shoulders, right? So now that we understand that the weekly time frame, the daily time frame is bullish, we just type that up. Now we would go down to the 4-hour. We need to know whether the weekly, daily, or 4-hour, what are the trends doing? So as we would go down to the 4-hour, and we could tell that the 4-hour time frame is bearish. We were creating here higher highs and higher lows. Again, I'm skipping a lot of structure here just to keep it simple. Higher low, higher high, and then we've broken structure here, making this time frame now bearish. So now we understand that the majority of these time frames is to the downside. So we add here the confluence. We have 4-hour bearish, meaning we have two time frames in sync to the downside. So now there's no reason why you should be taking longs. Obviously, the majority of the market is going down. So this is my first point. Understand what is the market doing? Are we bullish and bearish? And we need a minimum of two time frames in sync to take the trade. Now, my next point is going to be how to
Minimum of 2 time frames. So I don't need 3. I only need 2.
find the area of interest. All right, so I just got this watch, right? If you can guess how much this watch is worth, I'll give you $100. It's G-Shock. But it's like 20K?
Let's say 200.
Huh?
20,000.
Sure, 100%. Alright, so now in the next point is finding your area of interest. So obviously we're bearish on the weekly and bearish on the 4 hours, so we're looking to sell. I'm not looking to buy because simply the confidences aren't that much, right? Let's say you were to take this as a grade. For me and everybody in the Guided Bootcamp, we would grade this a 20% towards yourself because it's 10% per time frame. Anything lower than the 4 hour to me is just not strong. I don't use it as a confluence whether to understand whether we're bullish or bearish. We use it for other things, but that's in a completely other video. So for this case, when we understand that we need to sell at a weekly area of interest, because again, keep in mind we are bearish in the weekly, so we need to sell based off of the weekly. So this is where we would mark off our lower high and our lower low. So this would be our lower high point right here. Again, if you guys want to do another video on lower high and lower low, which is pretty simple, make sure to drop a comment. So this is the lower high, and then this would be the lower low. So we understand we're only looking for areas of interest within this box. So a little hack that I do is I would zone it off like this.
What do you say?
And the lower low. So we understand we're only looking for areas of interest within this box. So a little hack that I do is I would zone it off like this. And then I know I'm looking for areas of interest to sell within this box. I'm looking for retracement somewhere in here to then sell. If you break out of this box, we are now bullish. We're no longer looking to sell. A big common mistake people would do, they come onto the markets, they'll mark this off. Oh yeah, this is a strong level of resistance. So is this area right here. It's used as support and resistance. Yes, it is a fact. This is a clean level of support, resistance. But if price gets to that point right there, we're no longer bearish. We're no longer looking for sells. So that's what makes it invalid. And that's why it's so important how to properly mark off these lower highs and lower lows.
Okay. So he's saying that, bro, I hate having 2 tabs. So because of It needs to be in the same place, in the same box, and it needs to be in the same place. So it can't be mad far away. So right now, weekly, did he put it on the did he put it on the
So I would start off looking for areas of interest from the bottom up, and I pretty much look for whatever points have the most touches. In this case, it is round psychological, 66,500. And if you look left, it is a very well-respected level of support and resistance. So now I know how.
He's on the weekly time frame. So let's go weekly. And it needs to be in a box. So it needs to be like in the same place where your higher high is and your higher low is. So it needs to be in the same place that your higher high is and then where your higher low is. That's where it needs to be. So if I was to get an area of interest, it needs to be in the same in this box. We have 14 minutes. I need to execute the trade. Let's finish this video.
I'm looking to sell at this area. So let's say that price were to be around here. I would have to wait for price to get to this area in order for me to be interested in sales. So all of this time, price is on the way there. We're just set and forget. Just pretty much just wait till price gets there. So now on my next point is, what do I do once price gets to this area of interest, which is pretty much basically how you enter the trade. So stay tuned to the next point. All right, so we just pulled up to Sensei's house, and we're gonna give him a box of shoes because he actually gave me these Gucci's. Just random. One day he was like, "Yo, here's have these shoes," and I'm like, "I don't have a pair of Gucci's." So now we're gonna give him the shoe box, thinking I'm gonna give him a shoe, but inside we have the Rolex hidden up. So let's wait for him to pull up. I remember when this guy came to Miami without knowing a single word of English, and he had nothing to his name. Seeing him build from the ground up is insanely motivational to me. Kind of like my story, had nothing working at Dunkin', and we both built up great success. So the fact that I'm not only am I able to have success myself, but share it with others literally means the world to me. Like, look at his reaction that he gets now when he sees the watch he's always wanted. So that's my goal for the rest of my life, is to give back to all of you guys, whether it's as friends, advice, YouTube videos, education, 3-day accelerator boot camp, guided boot camp, whatever it is. My goal is to give you guys, transfer all of this success that I have to you guys, so you guys can one day be in a position how Sensei and I are. But check out how he grabs my waist right now. Kind of sus. All right, so now after you have marked off your area of interest, this is where you would go down to the lower time frames to enter a trade, right? So in order for you to sell, this is super important. And I mean, they're all very important, but it's probably like the key to your entry signal or entry tactic, whatever you want to call it. If you're looking to sell, you need to sell at a lower high. If you're looking to buy, you need to buy at a higher low. Do not let this go over your head. Again, if you need to sell, you need to sell at a lower high, or a potential lower high. And if you're looking to buy, you need to buy at a higher low, potential higher low. So this is where you would go down to the 4-hour, and I need to have a 4-hour lower high to sell. So as you can tell, in this case, once we approached our area of interest for the first time, once we got here, there was absolutely no lower high. Everything was simply higher high, if you want to call this a higher low, which I wouldn't, so we'll just keep it going. This is a higher low, this is a higher low, and notice how we've broken through the area of interest, breaking through it, not giving us a lower high at any point. So this is where we would wait for the break of the structure, which would give us a lower low. So as you can tell right here, we've had the break of structure. If we were to call this our higher low, this would be our higher high. Here we broke it, giving us now a low.
Alright guys, I need a break. I'll be right back. I'm gonna end it right here. Alright guys, I'm back. I am back.
Wait for a lower high, then you would get a retest of 6,500, retest of area of interest in the weekly, retest the 4-hour EMA, retest the neckline of the head and shoulders. So if you notice, you have abundance of confidences by just waiting for the shift of the structure. This is going to make or break your trade. And for me, when this trade plays out very soon, it would be a B setup, B plus, the way we grade it in the 3-day accelerated bootcamp. It's based off of.
Alright, we're gonna execute the trade. So right now we have Euro. No, let's go to NZD CHF. The weekly is bearish, the daily is bearish, and the 4-hour is bearish as well. So now we need to look for a area of interest. Let's go to the daily. Can we find an area of interest? I don't think there is an area of interest. Let's go to the week. There isn't an area of interest. It just keeps going down. Let's look at another chart. CAD CHF. I like this one. Weekly's bearish, daily's bearish, 4-hour bearish. I think we can get an area of interest right here. Right here. Because we have 1, 2, 3, 4 touches. Let's go. No, let's do it on the day. Did he do his on the week, on the 4-hour, or on the day?
The percentages you give, we grade weekly, retest the break low and term time. Educate to give back to all of you guys. Boot camp that I had kind of sus. All right, guys. Now, after you have marked off your area of interest, this is where you would go down to the lower time frames to enter a trade, right? So, in order for you to sell, this is super important. And I mean, they're all very clearly bearish. We're creating lower low, lower high, lower low. Now we're creating a potential lower high to create a lower low. So this is where we would type off. The weekly time frame is bearish. Next would be the daily. This is where we would go to the daily time frame and we understand what is the daily doing. Are we bullish or bearish? So in this case, we understand that the daily is creating lower low, lower high, lower low. Now we shifted here to creating higher highs and higher lows. Again, if you guys want to know more details about market.
All right, let's change the chart where we can find an area of interest. All right, let's just do it with the Euro USD. Because we have 2. We only need a matter of 2. We only need a matter of 2. So the weekly is bullish. Daily is also bullish, but the 4-hour is bearish. So let's go to daily. I don't like this chart. I have to keep changing charts out until I get the one I like. Sorry, guys. Alright, let's do it with this. Let's do it with New Zealand dollar, New Zealand to the US dollar. Okay? So, let's mark out my chart. Weekly bearish. Okay. Why doesn't it stay there? Daily bearish. And then 4-hour. Where'd my words go? Bro, I don't understand this. I think we have to do it all in the smaller time frame. Four-hour bearish, daily bearish, and then weekly bearish. Alright, so now if we go to the day, it still should be there. Yep. Weekly still should be there. Doesn't matter. I don't know why it moves though. It moves away. Open the drawing tools menu on the left side of the chart. Four-hour. Okay, so weekly is bullish. Weekly bullish. Daily bullish. I mean bearish. Sorry. Four-hour bearish. 4-hour bearish. Okay. Bro, where did my words just go? Okay. Now if we change the chart, it should still stay there. Yep. Okay. Nice. Alright. Now we need to find a level of area of interest. Let's do this one right here. That looks good. Okay, let's go back to the video and then we're almost done.
Structure, I have a 3-day accelerated bootcamp. Just click the link below of it. Another way to tell how this market shifted from bearish to bullish, we had here an inverted head and shoulders, right? So now that we understand that the weekly time frame, the daily time frame is bullish, we just type that up. Now we would go down to the 4-hour. We need to know whether the weekly, daily, or 4-hour, what are the trends doing? So as we would go down to the 4-hour, and we could tell that the 4-hour time frame is bearish. We were creating here higher highs and higher lows. Again, I'm skipping a lot of structure here just to keep it simple. Higher low, higher high, and then we've broken structure here, making this time frame now bearish. So now we understand that the majority of these time frames is to the downside. So we add here the confluence, we have 4-hour bearish, meaning we have 2 time frames in sync to the downside. So now there's no reason why you should be taking longs. Obviously the majority of the market is going down. So this is my first point. Understand, what is the market doing? Are we bullish or bearish? And we need a minimum of 2 time frames in sync to take the trade. Now my next point is going to be how to find the area of interest. All right, so I just got this watch, right? If you can guess how much this watch is worth, I'll give you $100. It's G-Shock. But it's like 20K?
Let's say 200.
Huh?
20,000.
Sure, 100%. Alright, so now in the next point is finding your area of interest. So obviously we're bearish on the weekly and bearish on the 4 hours, so we're looking to sell. I'm not looking to buy because simply the confidences aren't that much, right? Let's say you were to take this as a grade. For me and everybody in the Guided Bootcamp, we would grade this a 20% towards yourself because it's 10% per time frame. Anything lower than the 4 hour to me is just not strong. I don't use it as a confluence whether to understand whether we're bullish or bearish. We use it for other things, but that's in a completely other video. So for this case, when we understand that we need to sell at a weekly area of interest, because again, keep in mind we are bearish in the weekly, so we need to sell based off of the weekly. So this is where we would mark off our lower high and our lower low. So this would be our lower high point right here. Again, if you guys want to do another video on lower high and lower low, which is pretty simple, make sure to drop a comment. So this is the lower high, and then this would be the lower low. So we understand we're only looking for areas of interest within this box. So a little hack that I do is I would zone it off like this, and then I know I'm looking for areas.
Okay, so he's looking, so he has this, so he took the lower low, lower high, lower low. This is the, hold up. So he took the lower low, lower high, and then he took the lower low. And then he made a box around it and said to find the area of interest in this box. In this box. So let's go ahead and do that and find the area of interest. You can see the area of interest could be right here. 1, 2 touches. Area of resistance.
Areas of interest to sell within this box. I'm looking for retracement somewhere in here to then sell. If you break out of this box, we are now bullish. We're no longer looking to sell. A big common mistake people will do, they come onto the markets, they'll mark this off. Oh yeah, this is a strong level of resistance. So is this area right here. It's used as support and resistance. Yes, it is a fact. This is a clean level of support, resistance. But if price gets to that point right there, we're no longer bearish. We're no longer looking for sells. So that's what makes it invalid. And that's why it's so important how to properly mark off these lower highs and lower lows. So I would start off looking for areas of interest from the bottom up, and I pretty much look for whatever points have the most touches. In this case, it is around psychological, 66,500. And if you look left, it is a very well-respected level of support and resistance. So now I know how I'm looking to sell at this area. So let's say that price would be around here.
Definitely right here. Level of resistance and support. We need to go to the daily time frame. Yeah, right there. That's our level of support. That's our area of interest. And then once price point comes back and touches this point, we can sell. Let's go to 15-minute. What did he say?
I would have to wait for price to get to this area in order for me to be interested in sells. So all of this time, price is on the way there. We're just set and forget. Just pretty much just wait till price gets there. So now on my next point is, what do I do once price gets to this area of interest, which is pretty much basically how you.
So he said
as support and
that he has
resistance,
to. He said that he has to wait till price gets to the area of interest. So that makes sense. So I was asking a question earlier. Do I have to wait until price gets to that point? And I think you just answered my question.
Support, resistance. But if price gets to that point right there, we're no longer bearish. We're no longer looking for sells. So that's what makes it invalid. And that's why it's so important how to properly mark out these lower highs and lower lows. So I would start off looking for areas of interest from the bottom up, and I pretty much look for whatever points have the most touches. In this case, it is round psychological, 66,500. And if you look left, it is a very well respected level of support and resistance. So now I know how I'm looking to sell at this area. So let's say that price were to be around here. I would have to wait for price to get to this area in order for me to be interested in sells. So all of this time, price is on the way there. So now I know how I'm looking to sell at this area. So let's say that price were to be around here. I would have to wait for price to get to this area in order for me to be interested in sells. So all of this time, price is on the way there. We're just set and forget. Just pretty much just wait till price gets there. So now on my next point is, what do I do once price gets to this area of interest, which is pretty much basically how you enter the trade. So stay tuned to the next point. All right, so we just put it.
So like you said, just wait till the price gets there. But it's so far away on a price mark, on a chart like this. The price is so far away from this point. Let's go to the 4-hour. So we'd have to wait until price got to that point. We could just make the trade. Let's just make the trade. I'm gonna screen record and make the trade. And just sell it. MetaTrader 5. I'm gonna just make the trade because we're selling. So all three charts are going with the trend of selling. So I'm gonna just sell. So New Zealand dollar, US dollar, NZD USD. Trade. Let's do 5 pips just for the big homies. No stop loss, nothing else. Sell. So we're gonna hold this. It's probably gonna go back up. It's gonna go back up. I'm telling you right now. I'm not gonna make money on this. I should make a trade every single day. Yeah, I'm gonna make a trade every single day on this demo account. But yeah, I'm gonna open up. I'm gonna show you the results. What should I do? I'm gonna figure out when I want to close this trade. I'm gonna watch this trade. I'm gonna figure out what I want to do with this trade. But I'm gonna give you guys the results. I'm gonna end the recording here. And yeah. See you guys another time.
What the fuck I'm supposed to fall in love with you, bitch? I should've never even fucked with you. Trust issues, that shit made me feel uncomfortable. I should've never made you feel like I was stuck with you. You ever had somebody say that they was down for you? It made you feel so real, like they're really down for you. They clown on you every time they turn around on you. They not loyal, they happy, they looking down on you. You really jacking, you don't fuck with me. Now I feel like you never kept it a buck with me. You saying I ain't the daddy, that would be luckily. I'm hoping that ain't my baby, that shit gon' fuck with me. You got me looking like a clown, bitch. That other nigga gon' fuck up running his mouth, bitch. How I fuck him up and drown him in a fountain. Leave that little nigga somewhere in the mountains. But now I'm like, what the fuck, nigga? I love money, I don't love bitches. Fuck bitches, DTB know I don't trust bitches. Fuck bitches, DTB know I don't trust bitches. No kissing, ain't even hugging. Cause I don't wanna fall in love with it. Fuck bitches, DTB know I don't trust bitches. Fuck bitches, DTB know I don't trust bitches. What the fuck I'm supposed to fall in love with you, bitch? I just wanted to fuck with you. Thought you was cool to kick it, probably get launched with you. I never meant for shit to get so fucking comfortable. Your niggas told you they was down for you, but when you fucked up, nigga, they not around for you. They say they waited to ride 100 down for you. They clown on you as soon as they turn around on you. I salute ya, you took my bitch and you scooped her. I'm a loser, I feel like a fucking loser. Fuck the rumors, cause I passed the bag to ya. Ran through her, then I passed the bag to ya. But now I'm feeling like I'm, Fuck bitches, I don't try bitches. Fuck bitches, DTB know I don't try bitches. Love bitches, nah. Now I'm like, what the fuck, nigga? I don't wanna fall in love with it. I love money, I don't love bitches. Fuck bitches. Fuck bitches, fuck bitches, fuck bitches, fuck bitches, fuck bitches, fuck bitches. My nigga, we don't fall with you. My nigga, we don't fall with you. Why you fall? Fuck bitches, fuck bitches, fuck bitches, fuck bitches, fuck bitches, fuck bitches. My nigga, we don't fall with you. My nigga, we don't fall with you. Why you fall? Fuck bitches, DTB know I don't try bitches. Fuck bitches, DTB know I don't try bitches. I love money, I don't love bitches. Fuck bitches, fuck bitches, fuck bitches, fuck bitches. My nigga, we don't fuck with you. So why you fuck with us? I believed in you. Should've told me you had a seed in you. This whole time you was frontin' and I ain't see it in you. Now I'm thinking, what was you doing when I ain't sleep with you? Now your toothbrush is my new Jordan cleaner. I know what a 10 is, you not Serena. You was supposed to be my dream girl, two-seater, for me and you in a Beamer. But now you show me not to love bitches. Now you show me not to trust bitches. Fuck bitches, just hit it, never wrong with it. Hit the blunt, forget about it when the blunt hit you. Who did it, bitch? You did it. Really thought that I was losing it, now I'm losing. Ever since I've been in school, they been picking, choosing. I don't know how I go through with it, I go through with it. This is stupid. But who the fuck am I to judge bitches? I guess I never knew how to love bitches. Fall bitches, fall bitches, fall bitches. My nigga, we don't fall with you. So why you fuck with us? Fall bitches, fall bitches.